You have spent weeks preparing your structural engineering analysis, and based on that you prepare drawings. The CAD model that you have prepared based on your design is flawless. See, every stretch check and design ratio is passed. You feel like a structural genius. And then the phone rings. It's the contractor on the side. The concrete is poured, the steel is flying, and the anchor bolts don't line up with the columns. And panic sets in. See, as a beginner structural engineer, you are trained to master design and drafting. But the messy truth, construction site problems are just as important as your calculations. See, when the anchor rods are misplaced, it can be too short or too long, bent out or damaged, it stops the job cold. If you don't know how to fix it, you are looking at massive delay charges, endless arguments over who pays, and a major hit to your reputation. See, I have been a structural engineer for nearly 10 years. I have seen every field disaster you can imagine, and I have learned that the secret to a great engineering isn't just avoiding mistakes, it's knowing exactly how to fix them safely and efficiently when they inevitably happen. Today I am going to share my veteran engineering experience for the most common anchor bolt disaster. I have referred one of the AISC webinars and sharing that information with all of you. See, when you receive any query from the site, the first rule, when you get that phone call, get accurate information immediately. Ask yourself, is a fix actually required? See, if you don't have to spend money on a fix, there is no argument about who pays. Always remember my golden rule. See, in the field fixes, material is cheap, but the labor is incredibly expensive. Now let's tackle the major 4 mistakes on the anchor bolt problems. So let's first understand what if the rods are too short. See, you have few options here. You can use a coupling nut or cut the rod and install epoxy anchors. See, if the rod is weldable, you can extend it by welding on a threaded rod or even weld the base plate directly to the rods. One expert tip over here. This is why I always tell my juniors to stop specifying high strength steel anchors rods like ASTM 1554 or 105 KSI unless absolutely necessary. Stick to larger diameter 36 KSI rods. They are far easier to weld and modify in the field. Now let's discuss problem number 2. Anchor rods too long. See, rods sticking up too high. This is an easy one. You can stack plate washers, weld the rods to the base plate if the threads ran out, or you can simply thread them in place. Just be sure to double check your embedment length. See, if they are not galvanized, so they can be cut off and rethreaded easily. Do that before you place the column. No harm done. I usually spec weldable anchor rods just in case they are mislocated. The next problem, bent anchor rods. Someone ran over your anchor bolts with a skid steer and they are bent. See, if and only if you use grade 36 rods, you can safely cold bend them back into the place. But if you use high strength rods, you might have to replace them completely. The next problem, rods in the wrong position. So this is one of the nightmare scenario. The layout will be completely impacted due to this and you cannot place your column with base plate accurately because it is aligned with your grades. So first evaluate if you even need all the rods. If you do, you can cut the misaligned rods and drop in epoxy anchors, cut larger holes in the base plate and use heavy plate washers, or worst case scenario, fabricate a brand new base plate or modify the column webs. So it's time to step away from the monitor and anticipate the field. Standardize your elevations, use symmetric patterns for your anchor rods so columns cannot be spun the wrong way. Specify all the important general notes related to your fabrication, use AISC recommended hole sizes, and insist the contractor they use rigid templates fastened to the forms before pouring. See, A column being smoothly lowered onto the perfectly aligned anchor bolts.
Thumbs up from a steel erector.
See, when you design with constructability in mind and know exactly how to deploy these field fixes, you stop being just a structural engineer or a CAD designer. You become a project saving hero. You keep the schedule moving, you keep the cost down, and contractor will specifically request you for their next job. But if you ignore the reality of the construction side, you will be drawing into delay charges, unsafe modifications, and stressful RFIs. So don't let that happen. So get out in the dirt, learn the fixes, and design smarter. Subscribe for more real world structural engineering tips, and I'll see you on the next job. Remember, don't just learn software, learn concepts.